Oh boy, we got some big news. The Bitcoin ETF has finally been approved. We're going to talk about exactly what it is, what this means for the future of Bitcoin, and what you should do about it. Hey, what's going on guys? Adam here and welcome to the channel. Man, I did not expect to be making another one of these market update videos so soon, but here we are with one of the biggest events for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. After years of deliberation, the SEC has finally approved the ProShares Bitcoin Futures ETF and began trading on Tuesday, October 19th. Hold up. ProShares Bitcoin Futures ETF? What does that even mean? Let's break it down starting with ETF. This stands for Exchange Traded Fund, which is a type of security that tracks an index, commodity, or other asset, like Bitcoin, but can be purchased or sold on a stock exchange like the New York Stock Exchange. So basically it's an asset that you can buy just like a regular stock on a platform like Fidelity or Robinhood. A popular example of this is the SPY ETF, which tracks the S&P 500 index, and now we will have one that tracks crypto. The next thing that you need to understand are futures. These are contracts that obligate the parties to transact an asset at a predetermined future date and time, hence the name futures. It's like if I go to you and I say, hey, I want to buy, let's say, 1 Bitcoin from you for $60,000 30 days from now. Just a rough example, but that would be us entering a Bitcoin futures contract. There's usually a fee or premium associated with these, so I might end up paying $61,000 instead of $60,000. Again, just a rough example. And finally, we have ProShares. That's just the company that will be creating the fund. They're one of the most prominent and make all sorts of other funds for regular stocks and now also crypto. So let's put all that together for the ProShares Bitcoin Futures ETF. In plain English, this is going to be an investment that you can buy on something like Fidelity or Robinhood, which tracks the price of these contracts to buy Bitcoin at a specific date and price. Note that this does not track the price of Bitcoin itself. It's still exposure to Bitcoin and better than nothing, but buying this does not buy you any Bitcoin. With all that said, this is still one of the most important events for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole, since it will also make Bitcoin available to a brand new class of investors. Wait, hang on a sec. Don't we already have stuff that's kind of similar? How is this ETF different from the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, also known as GBTC, or Bitcoin ETFs in Canada? The GBTC is a close-ended fund. This means that the fund manager, Grayscale, can decide how many Bitcoins the fund holds and change how and when people buy into or out of the fund. The Bitcoin ETF is different in that they are fluid and open-ended, so as more people want to buy the ETF, it creates more units and can buy more of the underlying asset, which is Bitcoin futures. This also works the other way around for selling. So ETFs are a lot more flexible than closed-ended funds. This is important because a lot of large investment funds have strict mandates that only allow them to invest in ETFs, like the new Bitcoin ETF, and not in closed-ended funds like GBTC. These mandates also frequently state that ETFs must trade on a particular exchange like the New York Stock Exchange. This would prevent them from buying the Canadian ETFs since those would be on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So this is the strength of the new Bitcoin ETF. It is way more accessible to these large investment funds, which were previously blocked from investing. We might even see Bitcoin get directly added to these ETFs rather than futures, or even other crypto like Ethereum get included in an ETF. This would of course be absolutely huge for crypto, driving prices up across the board. So here's what you should do about it, and this is not financial advice, just what I'm doing as a random guy on the internet. While there is a lot of excitement for the Bitcoin ETF, and rightfully so, we need to be careful of a buy the rumor, sell the news situation. There's probably going to be a lot of euphoria around Bitcoin, and again, rightfully so. In the near future, a lot of people will hear about Bitcoin for the first time, and a new wave of retail and institutional money could flow in. But hang on, Adam. This all sounds like good news, so why are you talking about this like it's a bad thing? Well, if everyday people like you and me are expecting the Bitcoin price to go up, you better believe that some institutions may be banking on this too. They could have purchased Bitcoin weeks or months in anticipation of the ETF. That $1.6 billion buy order the other week could have been one of them snatching up Bitcoin ahead of the announcement. They may also be planning to take some profits if we see the big price movement everyone is expecting. It's common practice for institutions and hedge funds to lock in profits during Q4 so they can use it for marketing in the next year. Not to mention all the other people holding Bitcoin that would want to take profits as well. This could put sudden downward pressure on Bitcoin prices. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see how this plays out over the next month up to Thanksgiving. If we see a lot of price appreciation over 70,000 US dollars, I'm going to start taking some profits out of Bitcoin. Not a lot, maybe just like 1 or 2% here and there. The price could come back down in January, so I'll be ready to buy back in then. I've also been buying smaller cap crypto like I mentioned in my last video. If you want to know my exact trades when I make them, I post all of them on my Patreon. So that's it. That is everything you need to know about the Bitcoin ETF. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the links below to get some free Bitcoin and keep stacking those sats. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.